Alright, what's going on, guys? We're back with another video, and today we're going to be looking at Zacian, but in a colossal kind of team. So there's like 10 different ways to play Zacian. There's Zacian Sun, there's Zacian Coalossal, which we're doing today. There's Zacian Rain, there's Zacian Lapras with Lapdog, there's Zacian Blastoise, also called Turtle Dog. There's like at least 5 or 6 different Zacian archetypes, and the one we're going to look at today, at least in the beginning of the format, is Zacian Coalossal, just because that and Zacian Sun are like the two biggest hard-hitting, most oppressive of the Zacian archetypes. So we're going to go with a different kind of build than our typical jolly 252 Zacian, but yes, we are going to use Dragapult for our Coalossal, which we're gonna put G-Max here, and this will be the standard core right here. This is the big three, okay? But the sets that we're gonna run are a little bit different than ones you would kind of expect, and it's almost like a 50-50 with the Dragapult. Is it a support Dragapult or is it an offensive one with Life Orb? So it really all depends, but the one I always like to run with Coalossal is always the Life Orb offensive Dragapult. So yeah, we'll get to the EV's present items in a second, but yeah, I really like Dragapult, the offensive one with Life Orb, because you can Dynamax it, you can go for Phantasms and then drop defenses, and then your Zacian just cleans up after that. So yeah, and from here, of course, we're gonna have a Water Urshifu, very good in Series 10 and still very good in Series 11. It's another way to proc the Steam Engine on your Coalossal if you can't do it with your Dragapult. I think it's really nice. So we got a fire, a water type. We can have a grass type. Rillaboom's pretty good, but I'm gonna go a different direction with this kind of team, and I'm gonna go Amoongus, just so that I have a Trick Room matchup. Because sometimes Coalossal and Amoongus, you know, they're very slow, and they can thrive in Trick Room as well. And because we have the Amoongus, we're gonna go a certain CloverBells greedy type of play with our Zacian here. And if you think it's Swords Dance, you're right, it is going to be Swords Dance. But yeah, we got our Fire, Water, Grass core, and here we're also going to look at one more option here. I would like a Flying Pivot because Zacian and Coalossal don't want to take ground moves. I do like the Moltres again here. It's also good against Calyrex Shadow, and again, having that Flying Pivot is also nice, and you can also lead it with Amoongus and, you know, go for greedy, nasty plot plays. This is the same kind of team that I ran in Series 8 towards the end, and I liked it a lot. I wish I used it sooner, because you have 2 greedy setup plays that you can do. So this is the 6. So now let's just take a look at how we're gonna do our EVs, our items, and our movesets. Okay, so let's look at Zacian first. So again, like I said, we're not gonna go the typical pleb jolly 252. By the way, there's nothing wrong with that spread. I just prefer to play my mons bulkier, harder hitting, and a little bit slower. And I like living hits rather than, you know, trying to outspeed certain things. But anyway, we are going to go Adamant here. And because Cinderace is back in the meta, we kind of have to respect it a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my speed 190 here just to outspeed Cinderace, right? So that's what I'm going to do here. And for my attack bump, I'm just gonna go 76 here. That's really all I need from my Zacian. I don't need like a super hard hitting Zacian. Zacian hits hard enough, and we have the Dragapult here to go for defense drops, so that'll help Zacian out quite a bit. And then we just go the max HP route. So this is the typical Adamant 252 76 first bump Zacian. So yeah. And again, the speed tier is for Cinderace. Can you go a little bit slower? Yeah, you can. And then invest it on a little bit of speed up, but I feel like this spread is okay for what we're trying to do. So Behemoth Blade, of course, is our option here. And then from here, we're going to go close combat. You know, Sacred Sword's pretty good, but I feel like the close combat is just a little bit better. So yeah, we're going to go with this. All right, now in terms of what we're going to do next, I did say we're going to go with Swords Dance and Protect. Okay, so this is our typical Zacian set, and it's going to go well with Amoongus. You can lead Zacian Amoongus and just click Rage Powder and then click your Swords Dance, right? So they want to lead Incineroar and go for Fake Outs or Intimidate spam. Punish that with Swords Dance. Okay, Dragapult Life Orb. Okay, and again, just like what we did in Series 9 and Series 8 before that, I just have enough speed to outspeed Spectre. Spectre is a thing again in Dynamax format, but we just need enough to outspeed it. So what we can do, oh wait, I meant Jolly. Yeah, hold on. So let's just go to 201, right? Because Spectre caps at 200. So we'll go 201 here, and then we'll optimize our HP for Life Orb chip. All right, and then from here we'll max out our attack. 4 and 4 here, and you could dump even more into the HP just because, and that's totally fine as well. But I just like to cap it here and then just invest the rest in like defense. But if you prefer to have those extra EVs in the HP, you can just leave it there. It's totally fine. But for me, I'm just going to cap it at 169, and I'm just going to dump the rest into defense. Okay, and then from here we're going to go with Dragon Darts. Okay, Dragon Darts is good. It hits hard. We're gonna go with Phantom Force for our next move, and then from here we can go Surf. This is what's gonna proc the Coalossal, and of course our last move is going to be Max Airstream, right? And it's Fly. Yeah, this is Max Airstream. Now the one thing that I always like to forget sometimes is I'm going to make this min special attack Dragapult, so this way I don't do any more damage than I need to my Coalossal, because remember the Surf is a Life Orb boosted, so I don't want to hurt it. So yeah. Now the Coalossal, of course, we're gonna go Weakness Policy, and here we're gonna go with Meteor Beam. Okay, just because for a hard-hitting G-Max Vocalith, and then Max Flare. So we're gonna go Heat Wave. So that's gonna hurt a lot, and then Solar Beam is really nice, just against those potential water mons that you'll see in the meta, like a Lapras or like a Kyogre, and then Protect. So yeah, great coverage on the Coalossal. Now how are we gonna EV this? So we're gonna go Modest here, and I only want enough speed where at +6 I outspeed Sun, but also outspeed the speed creeping Coalossal. So this way I get to go first. So that speed number is at 73, and if you do the math, 73 times 4 is going to get you 292, which outspeeds Max Timid Venusaur in the Sun. But other Colossals are probably going to be doing that too, so I just go 1 point higher, and now I outspeed them. And then from here, you can just go Special Attack, 4/4 in the defenses, and then the rest in the HP pool. But you can also take a little bit here and just optimize your Life Orb recoil and just dump a little bit in Spidef. That works too. Okay, again, with the 191, you're gonna optimize your weather damage, because 191 divided by 16 is 11.9. So you're only gonna be taking 11 points of damage per turn, right? So that's what I would do. All right, from here, Urshifu, this is just gonna be straight up Focus Sash. And 252 spread, and nothing special here with the Urshifu. No goated Series 10 spreads that I came up with. I think there was like at least 3 or 4 Urshifu spreads I did back then. But yeah, this is just going to be straight 252 with Jolly. All right, and if anything, I probably just put it in here in this PDF. So there's that, and the Amoongus. So no Turbo Shroom this time. Although technically you could do it with the Moltres, right? But we want to make it optimized for Trick Room, so we're gonna make this a bulky Shroom, and I'm going to try and consider this. Okay, so Rage Powder, Spore. Okay, Pollen Puff. I like Pollen Puff here because you can heal your Zacian, your Dragapult, and your Moltres, right? Because if Moltres dips below Berserk, and dips below the range for Berserk, then you can heal it back with Pollen Puff, and then if it dips below again, then it gets another Berserk proc. So I really like Pollen Puff, and then Protect for our last move set. So that's what we're doing for Amoongus. In terms of the item, there's a few things you can do here in terms of what kind of item you want to do on your Amoongus. For me, because Dynamax is back, I do kind of like the Cobra Berry item. So let's just go with the Cobra Berry. Okay, And then with this, we can go 219 to optimize regenerator. I still like the sassy build, I'm not gonna lie. So we can go 76 here. Ideally you can, or you can go something like this, second bump 156 and then 116 in the defense department. So I kind of like this Amoongus, just very bulky in general. No timid turbo shroom. All right, and then the Moltres, safety goggles. This is what's gonna help us answer the sun matchup, and this is also what's gonna help us against Calyrex Shadow. So very nice to have, and it's a flying pivot which will help Zacian and Coalossal out in a nick when it tries to go take a Max Quake, because Max Quake does nothing against flying types. So Fiery Wrath is what we want, Air Slash, and then Nasty Plot, and then Protect. Now that I'm thinking about it, right? I'm considering. No, actually, no, that's fine. I was actually considering like Hurricane, but I think this is fine. We're gonna go full modest here. And then for speed wise, I think 126 is perfectly reasonable. And if you do 126 times 1.5, this is enough for Thunderous. So I do like 126. It's relatively good. And then from here, the Spadef will just go 4/4 and then dump the rest into our HP stat. So this is the Moltres I like to run, and it's pretty good. I'm not. It hasn't. There was never a time where I was unhappy with Moltres, right? So I do like it a lot. And if you can get that nasty plots going, you just sweep from there, especially with like a couple of air streams going. But yeah, this is what we're doing with our spread. So now let's just go ahead and take a look at some damage calcs where we can see the squad in action. Okay, so let's take a look at some damage calcs here. Let's start with the Zacian first. So I believe we already uploaded our Zacian spread over here. So let's look at Groudon first. So it turns out that a non-Life Orb Groudon, right? This HP investment is like one of my Groudon spreads, but a non-Life Orb Groudon, this Zacian actually lives this Precipice Blaze, which is probably why one reason why this Zacian spread was popular. 252 4/4, right? So we do live the Groudon, and we also live, believe it or not, a Dynamax Regieleki. So let me just show that real quick. So a 252 Timid Magnet. Okay, Magnet Max Lightning. Okay, first let's go with Transistor as our ability. We go Thunderbolt. Okay, if they Dynamax and if they go for a Max Lightning, okay, we live that easily. You can see that percentage there. And if we just change it to modest real quick, then we should be able to also live that. Yeah, see, we also live that too. And then we can just go for like Behemoth Blades, which actually almost kills it, and I'm not gonna lie. And even I mean, all the power to Regieleki, right? But yeah, we do live that hit. What about Calyrex? What if a Calyrex Dynamax? So let's take a look at that calc for a second. So if this is 252, okay, and then it goes for a Max Quake. Oh look, Phantasm, we lived that 83 to 98%. Okay, we lived that. Zacian says goodbye. Behemoth Blade. Max. What about Max Quake? All right, what if it had Mud Shot? All right, little Mud Shot Max. Okay, so Max Quake has a chance to roll, right? It has a chance to kill. 18% chance. Okay, I'll take those odds. That means I have 82% chance to win the game and 18% chance to lose. I like those odds. And then we kill it with a Behemoth Blade, and then the game's over. Zacian's broken. Okay, so we do live that. And oh, what about Kyogre? All right, so Kyogre, can we live Water Spout? So let's take a look at Kyogre here. So we're gonna go modest, non-Dynamax, 252, with the Rain, and Mystic Water. Okay, Mystic Water. Yep, there it is. All right, and let's go with a Water Spout. Okay, so Water Spout, we lived that too. So congrats, Kyogre. You're not killing Zacian, not this spread anyway. So we're living Groudon, we're living Kyogre, we're living Regieleki, Dynamax, and we're living Calyrex. So very, very nice defensive calcs. And offensive calcs, I mean, you're adamant, you're one-shotting stuff, and you're dealing double damage to Dynamax. I mean, if you really want to know some offensive calcs, just comment below and I'll tell you some offensive calcs. There's a lot of them, but you know what's more important was the defensive one, right? Because this is a adamant defensive Zacian that deals a lot of damage. So there's the Zacian calc. So now let's take a look at a few other calcs that we have on the team. Okay, like there were no additional calcs after that. Everything was just optimized for speed tier and then weather damage. So yeah, let's take a look at some practice battles here. So this one is a weird one. This is Groudon with Ferrothorn and Suicune. Okay, I respect it. There's an Arcanine there. Not sure why. And there's a Moltres. So it's got a cool team. But I mean, again, I look at this and how does he stop Coalossal? I mean, he can't stop the Dragapult here. The Dragapult is the fastest thing here. So there's no way of him to stop this unless that Arcanine is scarfed for whatever reason. But if you play this out, I mean, he sends out a Rillaboom, he sends out a Suicune. That looks like a good Series 10 team, a Series 10 lead. But I have Dragapult and Coalossal, and I don't know how he stops this. I don't even have to go for the Rillaboom here. I mean, the Rillaboom doesn't really threaten any of this. I'd rather remove the Suicune because the Suicune can actually deal big damage to a Coalossal or even the Dragapult if it has an Ice move. So I'm just going to go for the Suicune. He goes into Groudon, which is fine by me because I wasn't even going for that slot. I go for the Surf. I deal some damage to Groudon. I deal some damage to Coalossal. And we go for the Max Overgrowth. Goodbye, Suicune. So we get a free kill right off turn 1. Welcome back, Dynamax. Okay. And then he goes into Arcanine here. I mean, that's just going to die to Vocalith. So he maxes the Groudon. That doesn't matter because as long as I get my rocks up, this game's over. And there goes the Arcanine. He lost 2 Mons. And he goes for the Max Quake. So he's removed my Coalossal, but it doesn't matter because the rock damage is going to be more than enough where the Zacian just cleans up from the back and wins the game. So I'm going to get out the Moltres first. He fakes out my Moltres. I mean, sure. And now Dragapult does more damage with the Phantom Force. So Groudon has been chipped a lot. He takes out my Dragapult, but again, damage has been done. He's only got 2 Mons left. Zacian and Moltres just win this end game. Alright, because here we go. We have the speed. He can't do anything here. He just goes for Grassy Glide and the Moltres because that's really all he can do. And there goes the Groudon. The crit doesn't matter. It dies either way. And there's my nasty plot just to ensure more salt on the wound. And down he goes, and down he forfeits. So yeah, I mean, that perfect example of Coalossal dealing early damage and then Zacian just coming in later in the game and finishing the job. So let's look at another one. Okay, this one is Reshiram. I really like Reshiram in Series 10 just because it has a positive matchup into Zacian. And if this thing is Life Orb and has Earth Power, then it's got a good matchup against Coalossal too. However, it'll die to Max Vocalith, right? So that's something that my opponent has to be aware of. And quite frankly, everything here is weak to Coalossal in some shape or form, so I don't see why I can't just simply lead it with the Dragapult yet again. It goes for Reshiram, and there's the Suicune this time. So again, another pretty good Series 10 lead, also pretty good here in this format. So a couple of things he can do here. I mean, the Suicune can just go for Tailwind here. He can Dynamax the Reshiram right from the get-go and either go for the Dragapult or go for the Coalossal. And I kind of have to figure out what he wants to do here. He could also Dynamax and just bait the Vocalith and max guard and then maybe just deal big damage with the Suicune or just go for a simple Tailwind. I was thinking about maxing the Dragapult and going for the Reshiram and just switching out my Coalossal for later, but I decide to just max the Coalossal turn 1. So he's maxing the Reshiram here. He does go for the max guard. I mean, that was honestly his best play. And he just blocks my Vocalith and the Suicune. I think it ends up going for Tailwind in this game, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it went for Tailwind. So I do get the Vocalith the next turn, so that thing is dead after this turn. He gets rid of my Dragapult. It's actually weakness policy Reshiram. I'm surprised about that. He does get one Snarl off, and the Rock Chip takes over. So here comes Zacian. I don't want to take any damage this turn, right? I mean, I know he has Tailwind, he has the speed control, so I'm just going to protect my Zacian this turn, let the rocks kill the Reshiram, and then just finish off the Suicune here. So that's exactly what I decided to do here. I go for the Orgrill Growth, but it actually doesn't kill Suicune because one, it's a Suicune, and then two, he actually did snarl me the previous turn, so I'm only +1 instead of +2. So yeah, the Suicune will live here and we activate its berry, so not great. And there's a flare that goes into my Zacian, and thank God we have the protect. The Scald doesn't do enough to the Coalossal because the sun is out, which means the Reshiram will now die this turn. Okay, so I do survive a bullet there, but he actually has the Lando here, which is actually really good against my Coalossal and my Zacian. So I have to make a couple reads here. So I'm gonna go into Urshifu first, and just go for a Heat Wave. But he actually outspeeds my Coalossal. Yes, there is Tailwind. So to be fair, I probably should have played it safe there and just protected, and then I would have been fine. So I don't know why I didn't protect there, but I thought I could outspeed the Lando here, even with Tailwind. But the fact that he outsped me probably means he's Scarf in some shape or form. Actually, not necessarily Scarf, but yeah, I think I just forgot my speed tiers and I should have just protected because of Tailwind. But I lose the Coalossal. Alright, and there goes more rock damage. And now I can go into my Zacian. And now I have the speed control yet again. So I tried to go into Lando. It goes into Zapdos. I really like Zapdos just because, again, like in Series 10, it takes Zacian hits very, very well, especially if it's a bulky one with Rocky Helmet. This one is not, based on the damage it took. And I just try and remove the Suicune with a close combat from Urshifu. So one more turn of rock damage. We'll chip the Zapdos even more. And here comes the Lando yet again. So my only play now is to really just go for the Lando. And I'll protect this turn, and I do get the crit on the Lando, so that's fortunate. I am adamant though, and he does go for the Thunderbolt, so I do make a good protect in that regard, and then we just win the game with Zacian with the Behemoth Blade. Now he does say that crit mattered. I think it might have, in all honesty. So in hindsight, my play was probably just to Aqua Jet the Lando at the very least, and then go with the Zacian, because yeah, I was looking at the calcs, and yeah, it could have lived, but it wasn't likely. So based on like the fact that he outsped me, means he has some speed investment, not too much bulk. So yeah, I mean, I know I was back to neutral, but yeah, either way. But yeah, he played really well. I say he played better than me. I just have Zacian, and that's really why I won. So yeah, let's look at another one. Alright, this is a very weird Kyogre team. So instead of Tornadus, he has a Whimsicott, and there's a Rotom Frost for some reason. I couldn't tell you. And there's a Lando Eye. I'm sorry, but Series 10 is over. So here we go. He goes Incin and Lando, which actually ends up being good for him. I go with Zacian Amoongus. So I'm going to go for the greedy play here. But can I just say that if I led Dragapult Coalossal, this game would have been over. Alright, so I'm a little surprised that he led this. But maybe he made the read that I wouldn't lead that and lead the Kyogre instead, but yeah, I am surprised to see this lead, because if I just let Dragapult Coalossal, the game is done. He can't survive. But yeah, here we go. So instead I just double protect just to not get faked out or not take an Earth Power here. But he actually doesn't go for a fake out at all. He just goes for raw damage. I don't know why he throat chop there, but he maxes the Lando here. Which is fine by me. I just go for a Swords Dance, and he does go for a Quake into the Amoongus, and I think he does remove my Amoongus with a Throat Chop, but that's fine, because again, now I have Dragapult, and now I can just pretty much dominate from here. This Lando is dead from a Zacian. Alright, so here comes Kyogre, which is fine. I'm just going to max the Dragapult, and again, I'm going for Wormwind here. Probably should have went for Phantasm, but anyway, we went for Wormwind, and down goes his Dynamax, so goodbye Dynamax. Here comes Incin. What? The Incin's not really going to do anything. I'm just going to... he clicks fake on the Dragapult. I just remove the Kyogre from play, and then just go close combat into Incineroar, and I can probably kill 3 Incineroars with that after a +1 and a defense drop. So yeah, very interesting what my opponent was doing. But yeah, let's look at one last one before we head out into the Pokepaste. Okay, so this one is Lapdog with Garchomp. So pretty cool team. There's a Whimsicott Charizard here, which means this might be fake tiers, and that's pretty good with Lapras. And I would say this Thundurus is like Prankster Thunder. Actually, I think it's Defiant Thundurus now that I think about it. So, but that doesn't matter. I don't have any Intimidators. So what I'm gonna do is just actually lead Dragapult and Zacian right off the bat, just in case he goes with Garchomp here. So he actually goes into his own Zacian and Lapras. So my plan here is, assuming he's not play rough Zacian, is to get a defense drop and go ham on this Gigantamax Lapras with my Zacian. So that's what I'm gonna do here, assuming he has no play rough. Alright, please don't be play rough, and he isn't. He just goes into my own Zacian with a Behemoth Blade. Phantasm, get that defense drop on the Lapras, and now the Zacian just goes for Behemoth Blade and removes the Gigantamax Lapras from play. God, I hate Zacian so much. Alright, so he actually makes a really good play, and he actually baits me with Whimsicott in the back. I don't know anybody that plays Whimsicott in the back. If you are someone that plays Whimsicott in the back, I need to know your name in the comments. Alright, but he did bait the Max Dragon. I respect the play. I protect my own Zacian just because I know I'm slower than him. So yeah, I do waste the Dynamax there. So good play by him. I'll switch out my Zacian for my Urshifu this time, and I'll just remove his Zacian with an Airstream. So there it goes. I totally expected the Whimsicott to try and kill the Urshifu here, but he went into the Dragapult. I don't know why he did that. Because now, even with Tailwind, I just outspeed, I believe, but I don't think he went for Tailwind at all. So I just went for Darts. The Chomp actually lives. I don't know how the heck it lived, but it did, and he Moonblasts the Urshifu instead. The Breaking Swipe will kill the Dragapult out, so that's how he lived. He's a bulky Garchomp. Alright, now he goes for the Tailwind. He should have went for that last turn, but he misplayed, and he basically guaranteed us the win. But I feel like we were in a pretty good spot either way, because we had Urshifu and we had a Zacian. So yeah, pretty cool all in all. We got to use most of the modes of the team. So now let's recheck the Pokepaste one last time. Alright, so here's the pace one more time, and again, this is our Zacian Coalossal with our Amoongus and our offensive Dragapult here. Again, we got a couple greedy plays with the Zacian Swords Dance with Nasty Plot, Moltres. Of course, that's my preferred playstyle. Redirection plus greedy setup move. We have the offensive Dragapult with Surf and Coalossal, and then Urshifu can either just clean up from the back or be the self-proc with Aqua Jet as well. So yeah, we have the bulky Zacian. I showed you some of those important calcs earlier. Our Dragapult has a little bit of bulk, not too much bulk, but a little bit. And then yeah, our Coalossal is meant to outspeed Venusaur and Sun and outspeed other Colossals that are also trying to outspeed Venusaur and Sun. And our Amoongus is just straight up bulky, and with the Cobra Berry you can live pretty much any max Airstream there is. And again, the Moltres is just there for the Calyrex Shadow matchup, and maybe in certain circumstances to provide max Darkness or even like max Airstream for our own Dragapult. But yeah, that's the squad. I'll probably make a rental code for this just like the Kyogre squad, just to get you guys ready for Series 11. So until then, peace out.